Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing a 12 by 12 layout with the Cocoa Daisy Wonderland collection. I have pulled aside things I think I want to use, but I have the rest of the 12 by 12 scrapbooking kit right by my side. So I think I'm going to be following a sketch, and I'll hopefully put the sketch right here so that you can view it. And what I liked about it was that it had the contrast of like white area embellishment and then white area. I don't know if I'm going to do the double white area necessarily, but these papers from the collection I thought could work well as like that base page because it already has the flowers. And what I'm thinking of doing is use one and then, you know, kind of messily cut this one out and put that one in this corner, and likewise over here, and put it on this corner, and then have that white element be on top. And I think whatever that measurement is, what is that one? Sort of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-inch square in the middle so that we can see enough of the beautiful paper, and then kind of go from there. So that's what I have so far. And then since the flowers are technically already here, I just have a bunch of like the little tags and such that can go around the photo and or around the white area as added interest to the layout. And then using this tag, I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then, as like the title / the journaling on top of that white square paper. At least that's how I'm like interpreting the sketch in order to kind of work and play with my products. So the white paper is just basil white cardstock. I get this at Joann's. This one's called Coconut Swirl. This one's the lighter weight one. I do get this one for the smooth cardstock. And the thicker one when I'm doing mixed media is Marshmallow, just in case you ever wonder. So that's what we're doing. So let's get started and seeing how this can come together for what I envision in my head will work. Let's get started. Okay, my darlings, this turned out so pretty. So, like I sort of explained, is exactly what I did, and it does come out rather well. So I do fussy cut out the illustrated florals on the second piece of this paper from this kit. You do get 2 of each sheet in case you were unaware of the Cocoa Daisy kits. So that way, if you wanted to use the back side, obviously you could, knowing that you used the front. Or in this case, using both of these pretty floral papers for one layout doesn't hurt your heart. But it feels good to get it used. I think all of us, you know, we always want to use our supplies. They're pretty for a reason, and I know we hold on to them for a long time for the perfect photo or the perfect story. And sometimes just making sure you use it and it's able to be flipped through on your album, or in my case too, this one is displayed on my display wall. I usually keep my most current favorite layouts on my wall, which holds, how many does it hold? 12. I have a wall of 12 with clear clips. It's really quite nice. So here I am already cutting out that 7-inch white piece of paper, and when I put the tag on it, it was smaller than the tag. So then I was just like, oh well, boogers, I need to make it 8 inches. So I go ahead and make an 8-inch one, and that worked out better. However, I thought, but if I keep the 7-inch one, maybe I can use pattern paper for the 8-inch square, and then that could use more pattern paper from this collection, you know what I mean? So I do that, and I settle on this one with this like text, script text on it, and I was like, that's it, because at least it's white, and it just adds a little bit of a black and white moment behind my solid white square, and that's the one I use. And I do like that. It's a subtle contrast. It's not a huge contrast, but I like it. And this tag was going to be, you know, aka my text on that like sketch, which worked out fine, but I do add a bolder title soon. And here I am just auditioning some of those tags in the collection, some of the little itty bitty icons, just to make sure that I have a, you know, a gathering of them around the layout to, as we always say, like add interest and that visual triangle so that you can travel around the whole layout. All these reasons is why I tend to make clusters. I think it's always a rule of 3, or the visual triangle is something that I do try to keep in mind, especially when making a layout. And when you're doing 12 by 12, this is the time where for me, I definitely let my artistic abilities fly and not be so constrained and stuff. So if you watched my previous video, which was the art journal page that has like the bold blue and pink colors, you would have seen my reaction to this Tacky When Dry foil medium that I just recently found. And this was the next layout just after that, that I was like, you know what, I can add some gold foil to this. And this flower stencil is one from Tim Holtz. And it does have a, like, you know, a rose clustered one that I am just going around with that Tacky When Dry medium. It's from the Crafter's Workshop. And then I'm using a second stencil here, also from Tim Holtz. It's those tag ones. And this one just kind of looks like, I wonder what they say, like these marigold? No, it's not a marigold. Magnolias? I'm thinking of just a smaller branchy flower. I can't remember, but it just imitated the illustration that it was. And so if you're familiar with this Tacky When Dry medium, it applies like a white gel medium, and you have to let it sit until it dries for like 10 minutes and it turns clear. And that's what I'm trying to show you, is that it's clear now. And when it's clear, it's tacky. And that's when you can go in with this transfer foil. This one also is from the Crafter's Workshop. It's in the color Dune. And for these pages that you see me using are ones that I've pre-used before on a pattern paper. And so, but you can still go back in and use it and piece together what you need from it. That way none of this gorgeous foil goes to waste. So this little part does take me time. So this is the part that was like labor intensive, but having the gold flowers all around the edge of this pattern of this like layout too just adds so much interest. I told you I might be a little obsessed. So this was already like project number 2 of me using Tacky When Dry. It sits on my desk. Like anytime I can add foil to something, I totally am. And so I do take the time. So like I said, it's just kind of about almost like a kind of a rub-on situation. Like, you know, place it on there where there's some gold, apply some pressure or like varnish it a little bit, maybe with a credit card or a brayer. I'm just using my fingernails because I don't keep long nails usually. So, you know, rubbing my own nail on it just works out fine. And you can see that it's just kind of a, like I said, not to say labor intensive. It's not labor intensive, but it does take some time of just kind of making sure all of that tacky area that I put the medium through the stencil gets covered up, because I'm sure if it's left tacky, it would start sticking to anything that landed on it. So when you put the foil on it, it becomes just fine. Like it's not tacky anymore, so it won't rip or get stuck on stuff. And like I said, you'll see it in the close-up and stuff, but the peeking through of the gold just looks so fantastic. So I will leave it linked down below. It's from the Crafter's Workshop. I purchased mine through a cherry on top, and it's just the best. That's the best medium, at least for me, because I think I always like gold accents. But think about it. If you have this gel and you have any stencils, you can add anything and then just buy different colored foils, which, let's be honest, I have purchased more colors of foil so that I have a little bit of a variation. Some green, a pink, a blue. I think I even bought a black one, just so that whatever I fancy, I can use. Okay, so here we are when I adhered everything. So the photo was taken recently. I did a face-to-face video of like my completed projects for 2023, and it was just a selfie that I took for the thumbnail. And I happen to be wearing like my Valentine's Day sweater, which is pink and red, and it worked out perfectly for this pink and red layout using from the Cocoa Daisy. What else am I doing? So I added a few of those clusters of tags to the photo. Again, remember those clusters in a triangle that just have some visual interest as you kind of look around the whole layout. I don't do any penmanship journaling or anything else. I just love the quotes on this page, and that certainly does wrap it up. And then I think I also go in, because it came with the cutest set of glittered enamel hearts. Here I am. Yep. That were in pink, red, and white. So I do add those around, and then I do add a few labels and a few more icons, just like I said, just to have some of that extra interest to the page. And I think it just turns out really, really good. And then the last thing I do is add some of this ribbon that has gold foiled hearts on it with my tiny attacher, and that will do it. Okay, that will wrap up this beautiful layout. Now, stop it with the gold foil. I'm using it on every project for the rest of my life. It just adds such cool sparkle and a way, because don't get me wrong, like you could, how else can you achieve this? Like if you had maybe gold spray through your stencil, but then that would get that haziness. So the fact that I can use my stencil collection with this with this and then use this until I have like nearly none of it. And I wonder too, what I'm thinking I might do to like just kill this little sheet is spread this on a sheet, you know, on a project, and just kind of impress it, and it'll come off all. That way none of it is wasted, and it'll still kind of have like this textured look to it. So that could be cool in order to use up that one. So that added to it. That wasn't part of the kit, but I loved the effect. And then when I was adding that gold heart ribbon, I was like, oh my God, there's more hearts. Like, it's Wonderland. It's just, it looks like a frame. It's so fun. Okay, so I will leave the kit link down below. It's good. It's good. I'm happy with it. I will leave the kit linked down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, everyone, bye.